Hi, folks. I love you. And my name is Theodore Cottingham in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, USA for the moment. And I love you. And my love conveys a power to light light, to light love, and not to love power, but to empower your light within you, that you are a creature not made with hands. You embody the temple of the Holy Ghost, not, or are you changing all the romanceful terms that you have embodied in you to bring you to this point? The School of God is doing a new thing. It's bringing forth the angelic consciousness network. And you won't need Wi-Fi to communicate. You won't need a lot of things that we've been told to invest in or to operate as with the limitations of flesh, calling humanity separate from God. The School of God is maturing now, for I am coming forth in it. Or are you coming forth to do the things that Jesus did, that God does? A race of one. A consciousness, not of seclusion anymore. This is a new thing I am doing, not. This is a new thing all over the earth now. And farther, will you be engrossed in the gross anatomy no more? The shape of things to come, or are you changing yours? You see, it's all changing. And a lot of technology precedes me not, or have I become wireless? Or are you willing to be no longer the wired you, plugged into electricity, a magnetic force of this earth, dipoles with, molecules succeeding with not, or sucking the energy out of you? Or what are you powering? No more. Your flesh as a separate existence of your realm. Your realm. You see, your realm, you are a king. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you want to abdicate or not, you are a king and you have a kingdom. And where is that kingdom? Inside of you. The kingdom of God, you see, is within you. It's not a place or even a state of existence that you go to after you die. That's all hogwash. You see, we've been sold a bill of goods, not, but a lot of people have taken this message in their hand, controlled it with their logic, wanting to manipulate their breath, to have followers, control their followers, to have influence. But you see, all that's coming to an end, not. But the force of one will rise, not. But the source of all being it, who love is, in our shoes. So you see, the way this school of God works, the school of God, the YouTube channel I'm on, that I'm using now for this moment, is to breathe life into you. Breathe new life, new love, maturity, blessing, apostolic calling, not a discipline of, or are you willing to no more seek the accolades of man, the certification of man, an anointing of some fivefold ministry or whatever they may want to call it? Are you willing to see the new you, ignorant of your kingdom no longer, and no longer bashing it, no longer debasing your kingdom? Will you no longer be subservient to a kingdom that calls you it? Or is this kingdom of wealth of another kingdom, or the visibly apparent, controlling you, your mind? What's your mind in control of, or who's controlling your mind? The words, the patterns, the light, the frequency. The school of God is to release you, to be in the school of God, to create the school of God in you, the God, the normal force, the strong force, the weak force no more. Or are you changing what you see as the molecular you to learn from the wealth within you that's no longer abased, no longer needing money, no longer crying in your milk? I abase no one. I raise the lifters of my head. Or is it your head? Christ's head? The head of Jesus. Head? The Son of Man has no place to lay his head. The purpose of the school of God is for you to see your kingdom. But information is not enough. You see, if you know the truth will not set you free. Not the way it's stated, not the way it's communicated, the way it's taught. For if you enter the kingdom of heaven, you enter it now before you die, defeating death, your last enemy. Are you willing to defeat your last enemy and live forever? Or have you already lived forever, multiple lifetimes, or changing everything you think the multiverse is about? I teach love to communicate, with love, to be it in your shoes, to communicate with others who love love. And this will be a network of the Christ angels, not, but the Christ, the way we've sought it or been taught it, will no more crease us down the middle or put us in two halves of our brain. Or are you changing the physical form of you this day? Within here first, where you live. Where you live, where you live. Not the city or state. You live between your ears. In a consciousness, a field of endeavor, not again. Or will you, self-aggrandizement, no more be after the hubris of you, to leave a legacy or be well thought of now, popular with the angels, not, but those on earth who don't know who they are. There is a release coming of the words of the Lamb, who will not take them to a cross or to death or crawl in a grave with them. You see, the new covenant is you who will be it. The reflection of no other, the integrity of no other, the message of no other, the soon coming King, is you who will be it. King the girls, I do. And king will no longer be a word thought of as a man. For the kingdom, you see, is within you. The kingdom is a royal palace of light, understanding, power, derivative no more from your failure. Will you see the equations not? Will you seek line by line processing no more? Will you be analog no more? Will you be wireless? Or will you no more need the chargers to communicate with phones, cellular data with? Or are you changing what you form in you because you have the knowledge? Now, what are you going to do with it? I've taught this for years, and there's but one in this school. Or is it you? Making millions? Oh, you want dollars? But what about the miracles? I'm maturing you not, or do you have the do of yours without a to-do list? The do of your youth, DEW. In the day of your power, you'll exchange places with who? There won't be any veil. Duality won't exist. You'll see who's behind all of this, not. You'll be the one recreating you. So I do the miracles now. And I do a new thing. And I'm an old man. I'm 74. Living in Eureka Springs for now. Teaching about the school of God within you. For you to release it, for you to enter it, for you to be the new covenant me, the new covenant you, the new covenant. For you to experience the teaching that goes on in the training school, for you to become the growth of you, where you are fashioning you. Word by word, day by day, where you are learning something intangible, something infrequent not, or changing the frequency you live on, or all of the words that seem to mesmerize you. Are you coming out of the dream, the legacy of the Tron, or changing everything? You think you know about the Matrix, Truman's World, The Truman Show, Divergent Trilogy. So many movies have embodied me or embodied this message to tell you there's more than you're being taught. From the pulpit, from the passion of Christ, from all the stories that have gone on for thousands of years, eons unto salvation, not, but what am I calling you unto? The nation of God restores Israel to Israel. Then it's not molecular. It's not in the Mideast. It's the restoration of the consciousness of the temple of one, the first temple, not the second, not the discontinuity of, and not the continuum of yours. This is no longer new wine for old wineskins. This is the paradigm of peace, where you mold you into something else. By the mind of God, not, but the mind of you, your mind. no longer separate because you're no longer creating the separation, the continuum of advancement, not, but the surrender to be who you really are. The angels, reborn again, the new birth of an assemblage of sorrow no more. Will you seek earth no more to dominate you in the visibly appearing of your race? Will you see a different story come forth? Will you be the one at the potter's wheel, the potter's table, spinning the big round stone with your feet, fashioning a new piece of clay into a man, a woman of not? Or are you changing your spirit so that you see you in fabrication no longer of another who wants to form you in their image like religion does? We're coming into a maturing now. The school is, and you are. Who will be it? Who will be in it? I'm asking you, I'm inviting you to be a part of the school, to join the membership. And it's not free. Because there are expenses involved. And I'm not afraid of them nor ashamed of them to ask or let you know this is costly. Because you invade the realm of the angels, not. You surrender to learn to be one with the breath of the angel God is, that God are. Many angels are one, the breath of a new race in curtainage, not again. No veil either. So I'm not the bride of Christ, of somebody else. I'm Christ romancing not. And I'm not the Christian of. I'm the realm of influence not seeking. I'm the realm of love unconditional for you to be the unconditional you, loving you unconditionally, and each other of every nation, tribe, and tongue. So you're no longer trying to exclude. You're trying to listen and obey not. It's a process of surrender. I'm talking about a process of education from within. Immaculate generation, immaculate deception no more. Will there be a reception for you in the skies of your memory not, or your thinking, not artifacts of failure with? Will you come into a new word purview, not, or changing the artificiality of your disciples? Or are you no longer wearing an artificial intelligence, thinking it's giving you the real? Will you no more the mind be dominated by an influence that only takes yours from you and makes you subservient to it? Will you worship an AI God no more? Or what have you been worshiping all these years? That only took you to death, that only empowered you to power it, to be the romance of your language not? Or did you give into joy, or did you just feebly make each other the inept, the decrepit, the decaying flesh, put them in graves, and then called it honor? Will you honor you? You see, this is not hubris. It is not arrogant to see you as you really are. I'm announcing the King is you. who will be it if you're willing to enter your kingdom. And it takes guts. It takes learning. It requires education. And years of surrender. But the time is now to exponentiate education and experience the exponentiation of the one, where it's no longer commensurate with your breath, but coming into breathing you on the wheel of fortune, but no longer the wheel of antithesis, where you no more be the theories of other people fashioned by, waiting on your kingdom to see it, to enter it. The path of God is not the wrath of God. The path of peace is for you to see it and be the one who enters it. I'm asking you, inviting you to enter this school, where it's not like any other school. I'm on YouTube delivering my message, my lectures, my teaching. I'm an old man. But my energy is dissolving not, or is it coming into you with what I breathe, how I'm saying what I'm saying? Are you hearing something beside the words that embubble you, or have made bubbles of you out of the past? Or are you bubbling not with an effervescent other again that determines your chakra system? Are you seeing something different on the training wheel, no longer being trained to be the sorrowed, sorrowful of? Will you light joy within you and teach your neighbor? Within the school of God is the paradigm of power and exponentiation. For you to experience the exponent, the exponential series of light, love, peace, and joy. This is no longer line by line, precept by precept learning or teaching. This is where you're coming into the jet age, not are we wireless? Or are we no longer needing neutrons that neutralize you, or protons that backward fire, or a process in your synapses? Or are you changing everything that's wired you to be the reality in that you think reality is? Well, you see the formation of angels now, you being one, and connect with others in this school, a community, a network, a people who begin to let God be God again, the angels of, who let the angels be God again. You see, there's no hierarchy in perfect love. There's no hierarchy. There's no patriarchy. There's no misogyny. There's no finger pointing, shame, or blame. This is not the real world about if you think the real world is what you see with your eyes. This is the intangible me, the formidable me, that I form me with my mouth. I'm the voice of one crying in the wilderness no more. I teach like this. And if you're willing, you can learn to teach like this, where you form your mouth in syllables not, or is there an energy you're no longer afraid of? To walk in power. To change war. To dissolve mankind's quest for its control of it, the separate mind. Are you seeing? Are you willing to be the connected mind? The mind that fashions itself regeneratively, notwithstanding your force of sorrow. I'm no more afflicted by sorrow's force. I'm no longer molecular either. Or am I the force of one, the source of one? An old man in Eureka Springs talking about you healing a land, your promised one first. Healing a land, walking through walls. Healing the land, entering your kingdom. No longer afraid of whether the king will kiss your hand or you have to kiss his, because a male God you won't be serving, for the feminine divine is well and able to take the land, not, but communicate. This is no longer like we've been taught. For we are teaching us now. And see, if you're in this school, it's not just important, it's imperative, crucial, essential. The very apex of unconditional love is for you to be the creator of you, creating it in you as you it. You're no longer seeing a God as a remote force, an angel in disguise or an angel in blessing or somebody else that you saw when you were 9 years old, because I did. An angel came to me when I was 9 years old. I was making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the kitchen a Wednesday night. My parents had gone somewhere. And I was suddenly aware. I looked up. And there was an angel, or what do I call it? If you have a better word, you can tell me. A ghost, an apparition, Casper, or a being of light. I can't tell you whether it was man or woman. I can't tell you that it had gender. I can tell you I was mortified. I was terrified at first. I didn't have any words. I didn't know what to say. The angel didn't touch the ceiling or the floor, just in the middle, as peaceful as can be. And the angel said one sentence. Tell others about Jesus. And one reason I relay this so confidently is immediately after, well, a few minutes after my mom and dad got home. And of course, I was all excited and vociferously. I didn't abate any words. I didn't minimize what I had experienced. And my mom immediately went and got her Bible and wrote what I told her in her Bible. So for years, I thought that may be a call to preach. But the older I got, I didn't want to be a preacher. I didn't want to be a pauper. I didn't want to be in poverty. I wanted to live and let live, party. But there came a time, you see, where I began to experience new things. Things I did not anticipate, things I had not been told about, things I had no precedent for. And some of this is documented in my first book I wrote. It's not even in print now. See, I wanted to be a businessman, so I call it God in Business. I know it's backward. You can't serve God and money? I sure tried. But there's more to the story, you see. And I began to quest to know the power of God, not. I began to quest to know the voice of God. Because I never could believe that God was mute or that he silenced himself from us. But of course, all that time I was immersed in Christianity and all the Orthodox rigmarole that accompanies it. But I'm now in the school of God that teaches me I'm it, that teaches me you're it, that teaches we're no longer serving a Christ trying to be a follower of religion the way people have constructed it, and tormented us with it. You see, an angel in disguise is in your mirror. No matter what you look like, no matter how old you are, how young, how inept, how decrepit, how sick, how feeble, how lovely. You are an angel if you're willing to know it. And the angelic order of one, of constables not, but of consistent love and truth flowing through each one to each one be the exponentiation of, not a rapture taught by you, but a glorification process not. But I tell you what, the mind of one will not chain us anymore to the separation of fools who enable our empowerment to take us to death. If you'd like a copy of this, let me know. You can write me, email me. If you want to email me, you want my email, sign up for the email list, schoolofgod.com. That's simple. Sign up for the email list. You're on the email list. We can communicate. But are you willing to communicate about this school for this school to be inside of you? You see, I'm not interested in teaching forever, no matter how long that may be. I'm interested in you becoming the school that is not separate from you, because love loves love. Love teaches love to be it. Love communicates. And love is not a force subject to your molecules, your remotes, your electromotive, your electromagnetic force. I wrote the book. Now this one, God in Business, I wrote 25 years ago. And this one I just printed last year, Jesus the Pattern. So I tell of Jesus and I talk about a Jesus who does not serve you and doesn't want you to serve it. I teach about a Jesus, a model, a pattern. Whose message was embodied. If you can see it, if you can see it. Let the ones who have eyes to see, see, and ears to hear, hear what the Spirit is saying. Not to the churches, but to you, the individual, consistent with love that has no name, no face, or will it be yours? Will you do the miracles now? Can you see? John 14:12. I mention that Bible verse all the time. John 3:8. It's essential. Jesus said, if you believe in me, you will do. You will do the things I did, and even more. So if you're going to learn to walk on water, turn water into wine, stop war, stop the sex trade, call Lazarus forth, raise the dead, heal the sick. If you're going to do the miracles that seem so powerful and transcendent, you must learn how. And you can learn from me, not. You have to surrender to enter your kingdom. Your kingdom that is inextricable from you, the very essence of you, your kingdom, your power, your grace, your ability. But you must enter your kingdom. And it's not hard, it's not easy. Because what we're dealing with is all of these giants of thought, all these religions, and all the visible empirical that our mind tells us is reality. But Jesus learned from a different source. He was the first to learn from within, not just the training schools of the Pharisees, the Sanhedrin, or the people of his culture of that day. He learned from within, and as he learned from within, he learned he was not limited. He began to realize there were Bible verses that applied to him. He began to realize there were Bible verses that were very misinterpreted, and he reinterpreted some of them. But you see, this is not about Jesus and history, the historical man, or God Most High somewhere else. This is the now, not an enclave with. This won't be decided by other people. This is up to you to be the real you, the real you, the real you that has no limits, the real you who can do all the things Jesus did and more. And how do you begin? Gosh, I didn't plan. You can read a whole lot of my beginning in this 140-page book. I think I'm going to reprint it. Because I guess I'm seeing it more and more as a tool to help you see, to see you. So the table of contents, the liberation of the common man, chapter 2, a business is born, or I guess I was born into business. Let's see, chapter 3, I've tried so very hard, haven't you? I've tried to tithe, tried to be good, tried to do what I was told, tried to fit in. And in desperation, chapter 4, I titled, God, I've never talked with you like this before. And I began to pray a number of little prayers. Some of them I was afraid to utter the words when I first began. I'm not going to read all that. Chapter 5, God, you never talked with me like this before. I began to pray a lot of one-sentence prayers. You decide what you want. Because you, the master, are of you. You are the creator of you. And you, picture this if you will, the potter at the potter's wheel, fashioning the clay. And the clay is you. And so is the potter. There's no veil. There's no separation. And you can do the works that seem like miracles that are just natural. Just like Jesus did. He didn't make a big deal. He didn't make a hubbub. He didn't draw attention to himself. There were people that came to him, and he knew what they were thinking. Right? Because their separate mind was not separated from him. I suggest he had entered a frequency, a field, a consciousness, whatever nomenclature you'd like to use, to begin to understand how Jesus did what he did, how he became who he became, a simple common man. The Spirit of God is coming forth, but not like you expect, not like it's been taught. The Spirit of God, the personal actions of the surrendered will effectuate, implement, and be the force of God in this day and age to change everything. It'll be the simple, humble. Because God, what we've called God, God of light, love, peace, and joy, not eternal damnation, not the creator of hell, but the God, a force of not, but the God, a source of consciousness now, makes himself known not, but she does. The feminine divine. The feminine divine is not limited to the common concept of the divine feminine. So often, the divine feminine is seen as a complement to the divine masculine. And that's not what I'm conveying. I'm saying the feminine divine is divine in itself, in herself. And she is not a complement to man, whether you consider it the Holy Spirit or not. But you see, if you're willing to teach, but first, are you willing to learn? Not from what you've all been taught, not what we have been immersed in, this world, the visible empirical reality of. Are you willing to learn from the teacher within you? The teacher who she is. The teacher of light, love, and peace. That impregnates you with her. Where you have a womb comes into being. What for? The new birth. The Word, the virgin Word in the virgin is not the semen of man, nor angels, males of. But when you strip all the regalia of religion from the truth, you can see, if you will, you are it, and the kingdom is within you. All knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is within your veil no more. You're not hiding it from another. We're becoming a network of one, the angels, the angelic consciousness of one. And this is how you graduate. When you graduate in the school of God, you're no longer separate from it. And you can do the miracles. And you do them because you're not afraid. You're no longer reclusive. You're no longer inept. You're no longer casting your pearls before swine. Or are you changing everything you think the master is of your own kingdom, or the consciousness of pervasive reality? I'm an old man, and you need to understand this, because I'm not going to be teaching like this here all the time, forever. I have 2,500 teaching videos on YouTube. And if you only want to spend an hour every day, an hour every day, an hour a day, minimum, you can learn a lot about me. You can learn a lot about God, Jesus, the quantum world. My friend, you can learn how to hang planets in space. But if you don't believe it, you won't. And if you're not motivated to find out, you'll go loitering along your way trying to make money and then die. But it is not appointed unto you to die anymore. I change the law, I bring a new one. Or do I bring peace? Or do I bring a new message? Or do I bring deliverance from Egypt? The domination of the mind with the mind that seeks to control itself. In your organs with your organelles and quarks. If you think God will just teach you spiritual things, you're missing what I'm teaching. I'll say it this way. The greatest joy that what we've called God, thought of God, the Most High, I Am, the greatest joy that I Am has is when you become it. And you quit serving it. You quit calling the church the kingdom of God. You don't need to support it. You don't need to tithe. All that's man-made rigmarole. But if you go to any school, pretty much, most of them, tuition, pretty steep. Is $100 a month too much to be in my school? Your school. Will you help develop the questions and communicate with me to help communicate with you? Will you no longer be curtained off from you? Will you know what I am thinking? Or will you know what you are thinking in your holy place? So that the questions guide you into seeking the right answers because you're asking the right questions finally. In the school of God, the faculty, staff, and students are one. All three roles, faculty, staff, and student, are one. You come into it and you begin to learn. You begin to learn how to surrender, what surrender is, and what the cost is. Not just in terms of time or money, but in terms of changing your form. And you're no longer on the potter's wheel of somebody else. Jesus knew what they were thinking when they came to him. He knew what they were thinking. No big deal. You see, are you willing to communicate with people without a cell phone? Are you willing to become a network of angels who understand these things, that visible empirical reality is not your home? It's a facade. Have you watched The 13th Floor? I've mentioned the movie multiple times. And it's like a number of these movies. I doubt you can really get the majority of the underlying message and what it's really conveying by watching it one time. I think I watched The Matrix 3 times and still didn't understand it back then when it came out. And finally, I think the fourth time I watched it with a friend who was very knowledgeable and spent a lot of time with it. And I began to see a lot more. And I learned how to learn. Are you willing to learn how to learn from within? How to ask questions of the inner me, the inner you, inner God, inner force, inner source, so that you become the faculty, staff, and student. You see, when you begin learning, I talked yesterday about the exponentiation. When you learn, don't just learn for you. Learn for us. Those who are willing to do the miracles now. Not afraid to go to Sudan, Ethiopia, Mauritania, the Congo. Want to go tonight? Jesus and his disciples were in a boat, right? The storm comes up. He calmed the storm. And if your Bible haven't changed the words like publishers do all the time, it says, and immediately they were on the other side. You see, time, space, it takes X amount of time to go from here to here. But if it doesn't take time to go from point A to point B, if it doesn't take any time, you're just there. Was there any space between? Or is space-time not as it seems to be represented? And immediately they were on the other side. Is all of this inside of you? Yes. All the world, all the cosmos is inside of you. You think you're just a little dot on a map? The kingdom is within you. The kingdom. Not just a little dab of the kingdom. The kingdom is within you. And you have access to it. And you can enter it. But it requires the ultimate sacrifice. To give up your life? Or are you willing to create a new one? Are you willing to operate without love no more? Will you operate with love unconditional for each other, communicating a love that understands? Are you willing to see a new message, to sing a new song, to be a new energy, to create your new birth? You see, new birth is not as it's been taught. It's so pathetic and pitiful. It's tragic the way it's been taught. Christianity says, say the sinner's prayer and you'll be a new creation. Hogwash. I said the sinner's prayer, I don't know how many millions of times. Seriously. I wanted to make sure I was saved. I wanted to do all the right things. I wanted to please God. And then I realized a new truth. But it wasn't one sentence. I began to experience a process, a system of education from within. The school of God is to release the teacher within you, for you to learn to be the teacher and lead. And if you're afraid to lead, you put a lid. You cut short the process. The kingdom itself is made up of leaders who operate among the cosmos. So you can no longer sit there and be afraid of a few people's eyes looking you over, whether they verbally body shame you or not. That no longer controls you, because their word is evil, not their word has no power over you, because you have become your living word to be taught from within, to become the very flesh and blood of the angels, now not limited to them or what you have thought you were. Am I coming through? Am I making sense? Do you see what I'm saying? How I try to be articulate, how I surrender to speak the words of an energy, of a frequency, of a source, where you become your source. And your source, by George, is no longer God. If God is your source, He will run you ragged, torment you, disappoint you, and promise promises He never fulfills. It's all full of duality, ambiguity, limited to a vision you see with your eyes that you think you will fulfill in your flesh. Not my God. I don't have one. I don't serve God. I believe God not. I have met her. She, I am, with a womb, who comes and began teaching me with the first person words of love evident, love exponentiated, love from within, that began to share words that I began to sense in sentence form, and I began to write them in March of 2003, and started doing so about every day. And it became a process. But you know what preceded this process? It wasn't an hour a day. An hour a day I'd spend in prayer, sometimes 2 or 3, for years, beginning in October of '88. But in March of 2003, I felt like God said to me, will you give me your mornings? And literally, my response was this. I put my head on my forehead like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm of course, so spiritual and holy. My first thought, this will affect my income. You know what I did? I was afraid to answer. I literally went and laid down on that first pew in little McBurney Chapel, First Methodist Church in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I laid there pondering, thinking about how do I answer? How do I respond? You see, if you're not willing to spend 3 hours a day, you're not serious. Because you are on no longer the grinding wheel of flesh. You're no longer letting all the religionists and all the religions of the world and all the people that have taught you, you're no longer being fashioned by them. You're beginning to learn to transform yourself by the potter, the potter's clay, the potter's words, you being it. Faculty, staff, and student are one. The school is inside you. This is the angelic consciousness network coming forth. It's being brought forth in the school of God, out of the school of God, for you to be the angels changing the earth and healing the land. No longer romanced by religion. I love you. Okay, an hour. Seems like around an hour, I begin to feel done with my recording, the teaching, the message. Somewhere around an hour. Will you spend an hour a day? Will you pick up your pen and have a spiral notebook? Will you be in this school? Will you join the membership? Is it worth anything to you? Is it worth your life? Is it worth you being the healer of you? Will you heal the children? I love you and I thank you for sharing this time with me. Thank you for those of you who have become a member, joining. $100 a month. Is that too much? Too little? Is an hour a day too much to ask? For you to change not just your life, but to have eternal life, becoming the real you, defeating death, becoming an immortal, becoming the eternal. Will you defeat your last enemy, death? Will you no longer study to show yourself worthy, a workman approved, trying to discern the word of truth? Will you no longer serve a Christ, a Jesus, a force, a source that gives you a to-do list and tells you how to do it and tells you here are the rites and rituals? I'm telling you, the kingdom is within you. And you can know it all. It's all available to you. It depends on you. Will you change the story? Will you change what you are subject to? Will you no longer romance life in the flesh? Will you change the script? Will you understand the Truman Show, the Matrix, the Divergent Trilogy, and so many more? Will you love each other? I'm asking you to transcend the truth of this world. because that truth will not set you free. That truth incarcerates you in the limitations of the moment, the mind, space-time, the visible empirical. And those words live in you if you believe them. If you believe them, you empower them, and you live that life. But I no longer live that life. I gave mine up because I see. I see in the words. I see in the words that I've been taught. I received words I wrote with my own mouth, my own pen, my own hand on yellow tablet. As the feminine divine communicated with me, saying, let me speak, let me speak, let me speak every day like this. Don't new age me out. Don't label me, let me speak, even if it doesn't confirm or doesn't affirm what you've always believed. Let me speak, let me connect, let me correct. Let me correct, let me connect. Let me correct, correction. I wanted correction. I begged for correction. That was one of the first prayers I began to pray. God, correct me. I know what I believed. I know what I've been told. I know what I interpret, this, that, and the other. And I know the things that I do and don't do. Correct me. And I begged. Because I was serious and I was desperate. So love speaks, and love said. You can look this up. You can find these words virtually verbatim. You go to the School of God website and look it up. You can search the words. In database 1. Fear not, a stray word. Because if you err, E-R-R, if you err, I will come and caressingly correct you. So you see, this is the God that I know, that I've experienced, that I experience every day like this, and that I teach about, and what this school exists on in, and the framework that releases the blessing of you to enter the kingdom of heaven within you and operate in all the power to effectuate the miracles, creating a new world because you created a new you. That's the new birth. This is the new birth. A transformation where you're literally not the limited you in the mirror anymore that you've always called you, though you may look like it for a while. Contrast what I just said. The heart, the nature, the character, the fabric of God, of something, whether you call it God or not. Call it Bonnie Sue, Bobby Joe, Ralph. Let me speak. I'm asking you to let the real you speak in your kingdom and begin to open your kingdom to you and each other in the love of one, in the humility that seeks no prominence, but begins to connect with the consciousness that is ubiquitous in the cosmology, the existence of true reality that doesn't need faith at all. that only seeks love and for you to love love and communicate. Contrast. If you err, I will come caressingly correct you. Contrast that with the God of the Bible or the way it's been taught. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. The fear is the beginning of wisdom. Polar opposites. What God do you serve? Who will you love become love of? I ask you to be enigmatic no more. The ambiguous nature of you and your duality. I ask you. I invite you to be in this school and create this school, communicating with me your questions, your experiences. And let me answer in these lectures. I speak like this almost every day. If you ask for a fish, will you get a stone? Or will love come kiss you in the wee hours? I don't set my alarm at 2 a.m. like I used to, but there was a season where I was asked and I responded. And it was terribly hard for me, terribly hard. I set the alarm and I got up every night at 2 a.m. to spend an hour. And a lot of what I spoke into my little recorder and wrote on yellow tablet, you can find on the School of God website, Database 1. I've called it the Angel Handbook. I call it the Meonics Covenant, but all during the time I created it. And I think I'm just going to go back and name it the most simple name in the world that sounds so generic. Database 1. I had no idea of the path that I would walk forward with. And now it's been over 20 years, and I'm 74, and I'm asking you to be the angels that serve no church, serve no God, have no God before you, serve no religion. Come out and heal the children, heal the inept, the decrepit, those in nursing homes, those with what they call terminal diseases. And let not death conquer you. I love you. My name is Theodore Cottingham, schoolofgod.com. If you're not ready to join in membership, sign up for the email list. I don't have everything figured out. I don't have all the answers. I'm not your Messiah. I'm an old man in Eureka Springs, and I love you. Meet love this day, not at the cross, but within you, behind your eyes, and connect with nature, not connect with the mind, the connection, the frequency, the wherewithal, the ubiquitousness of perfect love. And perfect love casts out all fear. There's no damnation, no hell, no keeping track of all that you've done wrong. Not in perfect love. See the difference, know the difference, and become the real you in your world that is not subject to the visible empirical. But you can walk in it a while. And you can do many miracles. Please do. I love you. This is my mission, my role, my task. Or is it my privilege? Or is it yours to teach like this on your YouTube channel? In a share group, in a course that you create on Rizuko, Thinkific, Teachable.com, any one of a number of platforms where you begin to share what you are experiencing, not the theory of, but exponentially dedicate yourself to sorrow no more. Live the life of the one true one. You're it. I love you. Thank you again. Share these words. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Join in membership if you're willing to, if it's worth it. And I love you either way. Be the royal elite of the heavens, the angels of one, in a concert of no network other, but who fabricate a reality transcendent of this. See what I've said? See you tomorrow? I don't know. Day by day? Live love. Take action today. Pick up your pen. Write me. You can write me, theodore@cottingham.com. But if you want to communicate, subscribe. Subscribe to the email list. Subscribe. Be a part. Be a member. Be a creator. This is the Conscious Creators course, is it not? Aren't you the one fashioning the clay on the wheel? Remember, don't be afraid to channel. Surrender to see what's inside of you. Not just a bunch of internal flesh organs, but the kingdom of heaven between your ears. And let it speak and correct you and seek the correction. And let love caress you every day. Thank you. See you later, love. Good day. schoolofgod.com.